3 years ago, I was a completely different person to who I am today. I felt burnt out as a mum. I felt sluggish every day. I was fighting with my partner all the time. And all I could hear was just, oh, well, this is just normal and just get over it. But all I kept thinking was, but how are other mums doing this? Like, no matter what sort of parenting advice I tried, just felt like nothing was working. And honestly, I was just counting down to bedtime every single day. But looking back now, I can see that I was already on my way to becoming a whole new person. I just had 2 under 2, and honestly, I really wasn't even coping. I'd lost all sight of myself, my joyful self, and every day just felt like such a struggle. But now I don't even count down to bedtime anymore. I know that's crazy. And yeah, there are some times in the day where, you know, the day feels a bit long, but it's just honestly nothing like what it was before. I actually get a lot out of my days with my girls. I feel like I have my energy back, and I feel like I can actually just enjoy these early years with my little children. So in this video, I want to share with you 6 things that I did to get myself back to feeling like myself, and even better than that, like really just enjoying motherhood and enjoying my children. Hey, my name's Alana and I'm a mum of 3, and I have a background as a pharmacist, but I'm starting to follow my passion, which is to help mums develop strategies to cope with those challenges of early motherhood, because I have been there and I know how freaking hard it is. And I've actually got an energy reset challenge at the moment. It's a 7-day challenge, so make sure that you check the description below. It's just a really easy way. It gives you something that you can do every day that's under 5 to 10 minutes, just to like get your, you know, your energy back. If you're in that mum funk, I used to be in that all the time, and it's just something that's going to get you out of that feeling and like reset your energy for you. So let's get into the video. So I guess before I jump in, I just want to start with like what made me want to change. And I feel like I said before, I was honestly struggling with 2 under 2. I had a baby and a toddler, and every piece of advice that I was trying just felt like it was so hard for me to do. It felt like it wasn't working. It wasn't going well. I wasn't able to kind of like pull it off. Like even, you know, things like trying to get my toddler into the bath or trying to get them dressed and ready for daycare or whatever it was. I honestly felt like everything was so hard, and I couldn't settle into it in order to like execute the tips, if that kind of makes sense. I felt like it was something to do with me, and that's the other thing. It wasn't just that. It wasn't just the parenting thing. It was more also like, this is my life now. These children aren't going anywhere. They're my little kids. Like, I don't want them to go anywhere. This is just my life now. So why, like, how am I going to be able to enjoy this? You know, I also heard that other thing that mums always say, older mums, they're always like, you're going to, you know, miss this one day. You're going to miss when your little kids are this small. You're going to wish that you could come back and be with them again just one more time when they're this little. And so I was like, well, then how the hell can I actually enjoy this? I felt like something was missing. And I think that's the thing, is I wasn't taking no for an answer, because everyone told me to just get over it, that it was normal, we've all been through it, we just like, you know, figure it out or whatever. And I was just like, no, like I'm not gonna do that. I'm not just not gonna, I feel like there's more to it. You know what I mean? I thought that, like I felt like in my instinct, like there is more to this. And I was actually right. It was kind of like, you know, I know that my toddler is, you know, acting out, and it's normal for them developmentally or whatever it was. Or I know that communication with my partner can be hard because your toddler or baby doesn't want you to talk. Like you're just so busy looking after them, and when they can start speaking, they tell you to be quiet or whatever. And I was just like, how am I going to get through this? I even remember Googling, you know, how, like, when does it get easier? And I remember like one of the top liked comments was like, when they're about 6 years old. And so when I calculated, if we're going to have 2, maybe even one, you know, we want to have 3 kids, that's going to be like 10 to 12 years away. Like that's going to be ages away. Like I cannot live with this. Like I can't live like this. My whole life's going to just implode in front of me, and it's not going to be pretty, you know, like this is not going to end well. I can't keep putting myself on the line like this. So like, what can I do? So I want to get into the 6 things that really, you know, now I do all the time, just naturally. It's just something that they're just little things that now I just do, that I wasn't even doing before, that I had no idea about before. And, you know, I have read a lot of parenting books now. I've done a few parenting courses. I've gotten this information from there. I haven't just come up with this myself. This actually comes from like other teachings and stuff. But that's why I want to share about it, because I feel like it should be bloody screamed from the rooftops, because I just wish for every other mum that, you know, we can just enjoy our time with our little kids, because we all know that it's like normal. All this stuff is normal. But it's like, how can we deal with this though? Like, what is in our control, you know, to fix and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so number one is self-awareness. So this is not like, you know, emotional regulation or anything just yet. I mean, there is definitely a big element of that, but this is more just that initial awareness of like, wow, I'm actually feeling this way, and like picking myself up on those things and noticing them and just going, that's interesting. And not judging myself or shaming myself for feeling that way, but just noticing my thoughts, noticing my feelings, how I'm feeling physically and yeah, maybe emotionally, and just going like, I wonder what that's about. Like, that's interesting, because I feel like, you know, when we struggle as a mom and like, or struggle with anything, the first step is admission, right? The first step is admitting that there's a problem or whatever. And in order to admit that there is a problem, you've got to be self-aware. You've got to be aware of that. And so for me, awareness was a huge thing. Even for instance, take what I said before, like trying to get my toddler to get into the bath. It's like, I'm struggling with this right now. Like, I'm struggling to make this fun. I'm struggling to bounce like a jellyfish or whatever into the bath. I'm struggling to do that. Or like, I'm struggling to get them ready in the morning because I'm stressed. Like, I've got to get out the door. They've got to get out the door. This has been like an hour of just running around the house trying to pretend that I'm a tiger chasing them or whatever. Like, this is just ridiculous. And so, you know, it's that initial kind of like noticing how I'm feeling. And then that would honestly, like, if I could reflect on that throughout my day or whatever, it would really help me to go like, I'm actually going to try this or that, or maybe I should tell myself, you know, this or that instead, and like try other things or try to make myself feel better about it. Because I think before, when I was really miserable, honestly, I would say like I was bloody miserable. I hardly even sort of noticed, like I didn't kind of even realize. I just thought that this is just motherhood. I'm just really busy. I'm just really burnt out. This is what it's like having kids. But actually, when I got really, you know, started noticing myself, I was like, no, I'm actually not coping with this well. I'm actually not dealing with this well. That is a huge thing that I can change, is myself. So number two is not blaming anybody else. So this is a bit of a tricky one because, you know, I mean, remove your toddler from the situation, all of a sudden your life gets easier, right? Like, you don't have daycare sickness, you don't have the responsibility, you don't have the messes to clean up after, all this stuff. So I get it, but it's almost kind of like, instead of blaming them, it's more just this thing of like, well, this is just it. This is just the way it is. At the moment, this is just the way it is. And this is kind of like ties in with number three that I've got for you as well. But it's just that feeling of like, this is just the way things are now. And why that really helped me is because then now I can go, okay, this is just the way things are, and this is what I'm going to do now to like help myself. So like, for instance, I was really struggling with communicating with my toddler recently and my 5-year-old. And so I found this really awesome book about, you know, how to communicate with little kids, or it was really good. It was like how to talk when kids just don't listen or something like that. And that's what I was finding was my issue, was I was talking and they just weren't bloody listening. You know, that was like, started with that thing of, okay, I'm not going to blame them. Like, I'm not going to blame them for my life being a lot harder. I think when you're in that blame mentality, it can just get so like sort of toxic, and just everything feels really hard, and you're almost giving them your power. So you're sort of giving your little toddler your power. You're like, I'm not doing well with my life because of you. And so you're almost putting that on them, which is like a whole other thing, because like that is just not their fault. I mean, they're only 2, they're only 3. That is not their fault at the end of the day, which, you know, I kind of used to know in my head, but I didn't kind of know what I was dealing with. And so when I stopped blaming my toddler, that's when I took my power back into my own hands, and I felt empowered again to go and like deal with the issues we were having, or deal with the parenting stuff that I was finding hard or whatever. And so yeah, getting out of that blame game was like huge for me. So number 3 is acceptance. So I feel like, you know, those days when you're having a really hard day with your kids, and yeah, they're maybe just not listening, you're just not in the mood, like it's that thing, you're just not in the mood to be a parent today. Like, I don't feel like doing craft, I don't feel like doing rainbow spaghetti or whatever the hell, like I don't feel like doing this stuff. I just want to put my feet up and bloody watch my own movie. I think what's happening there is we're not in acceptance. We're kind of like up against, like we're kind of like resisting what our life is right now. And that's what I used to notice with myself, was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually resisting this life. Like I'm resisting kind of becoming a mum. Even for a long time, another thing that I was resisting was like, you know, the housekeeping. I thought, honestly, I know it sounds stupid, but I thought I was getting old. I thought if I'm always cleaning, if I'm always doing the laundry, I honestly saw myself as the mum of Modern Family, always carrying the laundry and just like pulling her hair out and whatever. And I was like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. And so I was kind of like resisting that, you know, I was just resisting the mum role kind of thing that I had, like as housekeeper, as house manager, whatever you want to call it, and like the family leader kind of thing, which kind of goes into number 4, my next one. But yeah, it was really like once, you know, when, as I was saying, like when you have those really rough days as a parent, as a mum, a lot of the time I have felt like that's because we're not in acceptance. It's like we're kind of resisting it. Like, no, I don't want to do that today. But if we can just accept, like, okay, this is just my reality. This is what my family is now. This is me expanding my family or whatever. This is my life. Once we come into that acceptance, then we can finally like kind of move on in a way and go like, okay, this is just what my life is. I don't feel like it today. I'm going to get the girls to go outside and do a bunch of weeding and like exhaust them a little bit. You know, it's kind of like we can do that. Whereas if we're not in acceptance, we're just like we're at a standstill. Like we're just stopped there and we can't go anywhere from there. Like we're literally just stuck. So number 4 is respecting myself as the family leader. This one is bloody huge, honestly, because it was such a big, like, just different way of thinking about it all. Instead of going like, oh, I'm a mom and this toddler's just in my life now and I'm just having to deal with this every day, and like you're sort of counting down to bedtime, it was like, oh wow, I'm actually now the leader of the family. Like I didn't realize, but when I gave birth, I was pretty much just signing a contract to say, yes, I will now be the leader of the family. And when you think about that, it's like, that is so empowering, because it's like, okay, well, I have one of the hardest jobs in the freaking world, right? As the mum, as the leader of the family. And because of that, I need regular breaks. I need regular breaks. I need proper self-care. And I'm not talking about treat yourself. I'm talking just general hygiene. Like even in the mornings before, you know, I have days with the girls just on my own, I'm like, Tom, before you leave, I need to have a shower. I need to get ready. Whereas I used to kind of just get up with them, hang on the couch in my, you know, PJs, which was kind of fun. And look, some days is a PJ day, like that's fine. But I just mean in general, overall, it's like, no, I've actually got to get up. I've got to get ready. Today we got some stuff that we're going to do. We're going to go to the playground. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to have, you know, meals up at the table. We're going to get outside, all these things, right? And, you know, really respecting myself as a leader of the family just opened up a whole world for me that before I hadn't even stepped into that role. And I didn't even realize how important that was. Even just to like respect yourself of like, no, I need to, you know, talk better with my partner. I need to open up a discussion about this or that. I need to, you know, even like for me, a huge thing has been money mindset. I have to learn about my money mindset. I have to look after my money. I have to do all these things. It's like, that is just my role now as the leader of the family. Number 5 is accepting help. And listen, it's not accepting help just from like friends or family or whatever. I'm not going to harp on about that. What this really meant to me was like accepting help as in like podcasts, courses, books, parenting books, even getting involved in like other parenting communities or like mum groups and stuff, and really being like active on them. That was really for me so game changing, so huge, because I used to try to Google things. I was a big Googler, like, you know, none of my girls slept. So I had a lot of time in the middle of the night on my phone. And so I just used to like Google things for answers, which is kind of good. But sometimes those blog posts and stuff, they can just be too short. They don't give you the full story. They don't explain things. And sometimes they're a little bit crap. Whereas when you actually do a proper course and you've got like a coach there where you can ask questions, you know, you can like bounce off other mums and stuff. Honestly, it is just bloody huge. And even like books as well, they're so much more in depth. They're usually heavily researched. And honestly, I could not put a price on it, how much those resources have helped me. And so now as I said before, like if I am having a rough day with the kids, that's actually something I'll do now, is I'll get my wireless headphones and I will put on a really helpful mum podcast. I'll send the girls girls outside. I'll be like, go outside and play, you know, before I bloody snap really bad. I'm like, just get outside. I put on a podcast, I start doing the washing up, and it just honestly helps me so much. Like I can't even put a price on it. Like I said, like it's just helped me incredibly. Number 6 is something you may have heard before, but this is in the context of motherhood, is stop the comparison. Literally, comparison is the thief of freaking joy, okay? It truly is the thief of joy. And something you need to realize, right, is comparing yourself to other mums is ridiculous, because everybody has children, okay? We know this. Everyone from all different walks of life have children. And so how can you freaking compare yourself? Because everyone from different demographics, different backgrounds, different cultures, different whatevers, different support networks, like it just, the list goes on. There's literally no point in comparing yourself to the mum who looks like she's got it all down at the playground. Like literally, there is no, like I can't even, there's so many factors involved that can make, you know, every single individual mum's experience so different. Like things like, did they have a sleeping baby? Did they have a colicky baby? Maybe a baby with heartburn? Do they have much support? Do they live far away from family? Do they have family close by? Even just like age gaps. We had 3 under 5. And last night I was talking to a mum that had an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 3-year-old. So I was like, hang on a sec, that'd actually be a bit easier having the 3-year-old with 2 older kids that can go and like entertain themselves and just sit in front of a movie for 2 hours. I had toddlers and a baby, and I'm not saying that it's easier for her. I'm just saying that in total, like when you look at a person's whole thing, because I'm sure there would be other aspects of her life that are harder than mine, it's like everyone's situation is so different. You know, did you go back to work early? Like, was your baby only 5 months old? That was me. Or did you have 2 years off before your baby started daycare? That was also me with my first. So like everything was so different, you know, and even just things like Tom has had 6 different jobs in the past 5 years since having our first baby. Some people just have the same job. They've got to know their boss. They're on a really good, you know, have a good rapport with them. They like are on really good terms with their job, and they're happy, their income's stable. For us, it's been a little bit hectic because he's had to sell 2 businesses, he's done different other jobs, I've had a few different jobs. So there's all these other factors that contribute to someone's situation being so unique. Now let's go back and like picture yourself at the playground comparing yourself to the other mum. Now after I've given you that context, it just makes sense, doesn't it? Like it's just so ridiculous that we would even just start to compare ourselves. Like it doesn't do anything for us. You know, there's personality traits, there's like, it's just, the list goes on. So anyway, I will stop rambling, but they are the 6 things that I did that honestly, looking back, are just completely different to, you know, who I am now as a mum. And it's literally the reason why I believe I've become a person that is literally unrecognizable. Like even my sister the other day, she sent me a video of myself when I think we just had 2 under 2 actually. And I used to wear this really sad gray robe everywhere. And I had my old glasses, which I used to freaking hate. And like, I don't know, I can't even watch it. I can't even watch the video. It was just a Snapchat. And I can't even watch it because I'm like, I can see how miserable I was. And I still remember the feeling. I was so miserable. And like, I cannot express the amount of gratitude that I've got for this journey that I've been on. Now that I've come to this place where I feel really good. I prioritize my needs. I enjoy my day with my kids. I actually like, some days, yeah, are hard, but I don't dread it anymore. And now I actually know what we're doing with our day. And I know how to cope with like different parenting struggles. And like, I know how to look after myself. I know how to be happy now, even though I have still got, you know, a little baby who doesn't sleep. I honestly can show up to work still happy. You know, I don't go on about all the troubles that I'm having and blah, 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 which look, no shade, and no, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, but I know that that can be a cry out for help. I know that that was me. I used to go to work and feel like no one sees me at home. No one knows that I'm struggling with my baby not sleeping, or I'm struggling with this or that, even just struggling with being a freaking parent. Like no one knows that. They all just see me at work and they don't understand the big morning that I've had and things like that. And look, look, don't get me wrong, like I'm not perfect, okay? I'm by no means perfect. I still have mornings like that where I go to work and I'm like, no one freaking knows. And, you know, I kind of just like hide it a little bit, which is probably not the best thing. I mean, I do have other mum colleagues that I confide in, which is like a whole other thing. But I just feel like I used to be like that every day. I just used to sit in this thing, this energy, this funky energy that was just always like, this is just shit. Like, this is just so crap. Like, I love my child, but in terms of me being a mum, this is just nothing like what I thought it was gonna be. And this is what everyone talks about when they say it's so freaking hard and you just have to figure it out. I didn't take no for an answer. I knew that there was a better way, and I was willing to be stubborn and like learn this stuff because I wanted to enjoy these years with my little kids. And even having my second child where I was really struggling, I honestly feel like I don't even remember half of it because I actually think that I was struggling so much. I think I was traumatized by the whole thing because it is crazy. It can be really like horrible and it can be so hard, but if you do have the right tools, it can be a time where you get to enjoy it. And yeah, it is hard, like nothing, there's no feeling like sleep deprivation, like nothing will ever make that go away, like those, you know, really early newborn stages and when they're colicky and just all the things. And even, you know, the toddler tantrums, like I still struggle, you know, I still struggle through those. But the thing is, I know where to look now and I know what to do. Like I know how to like help myself out, if that kind of makes sense. So anyway, I'll leave it there. But please, if you feel like you are in that mum funk, you know, you've got some mum funk happening, that energy that just feels terrible, please join my 7-day challenge, Energy Reset Challenge. All the details are in the description below. And when you click on my website, it's all there and it's completely free. And I guarantee you will feel better by the end of 7 days. And if you don't, email me, okay? Hit reply and email me and I will literally talk to you personally about it. I would love to. I saw the person that I used to be and I wish that someone was there to help me through that. And I suppose there were some people who helped me through that in those courses and stuff. So I want to be one of those people. But anyway, I will leave it there and I will talk to you in the next video. Okay, bye.